Hey nerds, JerBear here. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to rank MCU villains, and we're going to do it. It'll be a shorter video because there's not that many, and this isn't exactly up to date. So I'm going to do this one, and as I find another one that has more villains that have recently been introduced, we'll have an update video that'll just be showing kind of the new thing. So, all right, let's get over here, and let's just go ahead and get into it. So, if you're wondering what a Mount Rushmore or a Mr. GOAT is, it stands for Mount Rushmore Greatest of All Time. That'll be our top 4. There's not that many, so it may make the list look a little weird. But I'm going to start things off pretty straightforward. We'll kind of go in order here. Listen, Abomination. It is what it is. Spoilers. Skip ahead a little bit. His appearance in Shang-Chi, we may get another Abomination versus Hulk match or have Abomination in some way, shape, or form in the future that can make his character actually worth the shit. Just kind of showed up, kind of was what it was. I'll probably say the same thing for Alexander Pierce. Kind of just was what it was. When it gets into territory of Dormammu, I've come to bargain. I like Dormammu as a character. It's one of my favorite Marvel vs. Capcom characters. But, I gotta say, Dormammu poses a big threat. It literally put Strange in an infinite loop, and there had to be a bargain. I don't know if we'll ever see Dormammu again. I highly doubt it. But if we did, Dormammu could be a huge threat. Dormammu could be a massive threat to literally everything. Whatever. Ego, I'll give Ego an A just because of the performance, and I wish we could have got more of Ego, man. Anyways, his whole reveal of just trying to be a good guy, trying to be a father again to Peter, and then ended up being a bad guy made perfect sense. Ghost, I don't ever want to see like any of that again. Like, it was bad. It was bad. No, it was bad. Justin Hammer is what it is. Hela, I'll give an S tier. Loved everything about Hela. Loved everything about Ironmonger. Cackleosis kind of was what it was in the Strange movie. Killmonger, instant S tier because it's Killmonger. Have you watched Black Panther? Michael B. Jordan. Are you keeping up? Loki, S tier. Malekith? No. Red Skull, I kind of also want to put in an S. We may adjust it. I'm going to go ahead and put Red Skull in an A for right now. Ronan? Man, Ronan had so much potential and just didn't. So much potential and did nothing. Sonny Birch, I mean, you were on screen. Thanos is an instant lock for an S. God, dude, Ultron was so good on screen. But I don't know. I feel like there should have been more. I think that's my big thing with a lot of these is Ultron. But here's where it may get a little contradicting, is because while Ultron was a big bad presence, he had an Avengers team up around him and almost dropped an island essentially and blew up the Earth. It just felt like Ultron should have been stronger and should have been more of a threat. There should have been more casualties. But when it comes to a character like the Vulture, I loved everything about Michael Keaton as the Vulture and the way that his character progressed throughout Homecoming. And even the reveal of being Liz's father was just... Whiplash wasn't great, but I want to see my boy. I'll give him a C just for that. Winter Soldier, also an S tier. Yellow Jacket, I give a B tier. I like the first Ant-Man way better than the second Ant-Man. Jan Rog, no, you could just skip that whole thing. And then Zemo, I would give an A. So here's how we do this. We now have this thing laid out. We now have these people in their positions. We can now move them into the Mount Rushmore Greatest of All Time. We can now put them into the Mr. GOAT status. There can only be 4. Let's go ahead and do the insta-locks, shall we? Thanos, being the greatest villain in all of the MCU. Killmonger, because without Thanos, this is the greatest villain in the MCU. Well, greatest single one-off, because Loki has his hands all over everything, so you have to put Loki also in that situation, even though kind of kind of redeeming himself, so to speak. And then if we had to pick one more, for the Mount Rushmore greatest of all time for villains, I kind of want to put Winter Soldier in that category, but he's not. Hela had a great one-off. Ironmonger was great, but I'm gonna give it to. I kind of want to give it to Vulture. I just love everything about Michael Keaton and everything about Vulture in that performance. To be honest, I think everything was great. I'm also going to drop Red Skull down. The more I think about it, the more it's like, yeah, I enjoyed Red Skull, but not really. You know what? Just to make the image look better, I'm going to move Ronan to trash, right? Because it kind of do. I mean, dude, Ronan is just Ronan. I don't know how to explain it. He felt like he was Ronan the Destroyer, the Conqueror, whatever the fuck. Ronan the Conqueror, right? Yeah, Drax the Destroyer, Ronan the Conqueror, something along those lines. Ronan the Accuser, there it is. Ronan the Accuser. I knew it would come back to me. I mean, he felt like he was going to be a big character, and he's just not, bro. He wakes up, he's got a fucking Power Stone, trying to put it in his big ass hammer staff. I don't know, man. But the Mount Rushmore greatest of all time, again, if this video feels a little rushed, I want to keep it as short as possible compared to the other ones, is simply put Thanos, because he's Thanos, and he is the big bad that's built up. They're all 10, not all 10 movies, they're all 10 years. They're all 22 of the first movies. Then, of course, you have Killmonger, Loki, and Vulture. Every one of them did an outstanding performance all the way through. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Simply put, it's as simple as that. I got nothing else. Links and everything will be in the description box down below. Playlist will be up on screen. As always, check back for gameplays, commentaries, news, and updates. Later, nerds.